Hello class, good afternoon. Welcome back to our studies. Today we will continue on what we did last week, which was studying about national days. Did you remember anything about our national days? How did we celebrate some of our national days in Cambodia? How do you celebrate New Year's? How do you celebrate Wat Om Tu? Where do you go? What do you do? What kind of festivals are there? Do you celebrate with families or friends? These are some examples or some questions that we do in our national days. For example, I would like to talk about one national days in America. Just for like the Independence Day in America. It's on the 4th of July. Every year on the 4th of July, people go out, have barbecues with their friends, their families, and go watch fireworks being displayed in the air. So every year during the 4th of July is called the National Independence Day in America, where they celebrate their freedom from the British. So during this event, they gather with their families and their close loved ones, go out with a picnic and a barbecue. That is just some examples of what a national day is celebrated in America. But I know here in Cambodia, there are a lot of national days. We celebrate the King's Days, King's Year, and we celebrate the New Year's, Wat Om Tu, and a lot of different holidays. And we discussed some of that holidays during our last videos. Well, today we're going to continue talking about national days from our previous lessons. And we're going to read more about certain days that we celebrate here in Cambodia. But in this reading and in this exercise, we're going to do a lot of reading comprehensions. Do you know what that means? I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about it. Reading comprehensions. Just like last week, reading comprehension is understanding what we read. For example, if you read an article and everything else, after you read it, do you understand the meaning of the words or the meaning that it's trying to tell you? Well, that is what our last lesson for the last 2 weeks was. Last week was reading comprehension, and today we will continue reading comprehension. There are a lot of readings in the upcoming foreseeable in our class. So reading and understanding these words now will help you better yourself and help you prepare yourself for our upcoming lessons. Today we're going to read on page 33 in your book, in your textbook, in your social study book. So please get your book out and turn to page 33. I have mine already marked. On page 33, we're going to read about the Visakha Pucha Day. I don't know if I pronounced it right in Khmer, but it's a day of celebrations here in Khmer. And it is one of our national days, or national holidays here in Cambodia. And in reading this paragraph, you will understand more about the holidays. I will not read it with you, but I want you to read it for yourself and understand it. If you can, I want you to read 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs and voice message and record it and forward it to me. I want to hear you read. If each word you pronounce it right or wrong, and I will guide you through your readings. So please, record yourself reading 1 paragraph and send it to me. And I will grade you or correct you or give you some guidance on your reading. So take your time, read 1 paragraph and forward it to me. I will be waiting for your reading. And after you read the whole article, I want you to answer a few questions. This is part of our exercise today. What is this celebration about? What is it about? After you read it, you should be able to understand what it's about, how people celebrate, and what day do we celebrate this holiday. And the second question is, what kind of offerings or services people make during this holiday, during this day? What kind? I want you to write these questions down in your notebook and answer it after you read it and send it to me. But please send it to my personal telegram so I can correct it and give you some feedback on it. Again, don't forget to read at least one paragraph and send it to me. Okay, continuing on with our reading, I have some questions for you for our first task. Our first task is on page 34 and 35 about the reading of these national holidays. Page 34 and 35, there are 5 questions, which are true and false questions. These questions, all the answer could be found from your reading on page 33. So take your time, read it, and understand it, and answer the questions. These questions are true and false questions. There are 5 questions. Mark T for true, and mark F for false. Now, mark T or F in front of the questions. An example. I wrote this down from the text that we just read. There are 5 precepts that the Buddha adhered to. Is that true or is it false? For those of you that haven't read the text, I will give you a few seconds to see if this statement is true or false. If it's true, write a T in front of it. If it's false, write F. But since this is an example I got from the text, I will go over the answer with you. There are 5 precepts that the Buddha adhered to. That true or false? My answer is true. So I write a T right in front of the questions. And to find that answer, so you can find it on page 34 you're reading, on the third to the last paragraph. It says, on this day, most Buddhists adhere to 5 precepts. So, this statement is true. So I write down T for a true statement. Again, back to your exercise for today. On page 34 and 35, write true or false, T or F in front of the sentence for each statement. You'll be given 30 minutes to complete this exercise. Once you complete it, please send it to my personal telegram so I can correct it and give it back to you. Until our next video, thank you and take care. Bye. Hello again, class. Welcome to our second series of today's lessons. Hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about your first videos about our first national days. Hope you understand your reading. And I haven't received some of your voice messages yet. Please send me some of your voice messages reading one paragraph of the text. You can read from the first reading or you can read one paragraph from this readings. We're going to continue our reading comprehensions on this second video. But right now on the second video, we're going to read page 35 about another national day we celebrate here in Cambodia. This national day is Nhiet Bo Chia Day. What is this holiday about? Why do we celebrate this holiday in Cambodia or in most of Southeast Asia? We're going to read and find out about Nhiet Bo Chia and how your family, or maybe you when you get older, celebrate these days. It seems very interesting. It's a lot of things that we have to do for this celebration, stuff we have to get prepared, food that we might cook for our families and friends. So this is an exciting day. And most probably importantly, on every national days in Cambodia or all over the world, you always have a day off from work, from school, and from everything else you do to enjoy and spend time with your family. That's probably what's most exciting about having a national day where you get the day off and spend some time with your families. Okay, I will give you some time to read about Nhiet Bo Chia on page 35. And again, like I tell you on the first exercise, record yourself reading one paragraph, either from our first lessons or our second lessons, and send it to me. After reading the first exercise, I want you to answer a few questions for me. Please write it in your notebook and post it on my personal Telegram. The first question: the origin of Miet Bo Chia comes from. The origin of Miet Bo Chia comes from. Do you know what origin means? Think about it. Read it. Understanding the word in front of the words or behind the words, and try to come up with the word origins. What does it mean? The origin of Miet Bo Chia comes from. So it's something having to do with where it began. So that's your clue for that word. And the second question: this event takes place on what occasion? So after the origin, this event takes place on what occasion? During what event, in other words, does this event take place? You will find the answers in your readings. Take your time, read it, and you will understand it. After you finish writing these two questions, please submit it to me so I can correct it and give you some feedback on your answers. Remember, this is about reading comprehension, so I will not grade you too much hard on your spelling or whatever, just as long as you understand, just as long as you comprehend what you read or what you read. Okay, on to our second exercise for today, or second task. On page 35, there are some questions on the bottom of the page I want you to do. I want you to do the exercise on that page. And the exercise are match the words with the synonyms and meanings. So these words that's given here on the left-hand column, you have to match it to the words on the right-hand column. Match with their synonyms and their meanings. What does synonym means? Is it words that mean differently or words that mean the same? Synonyms. Think about that and feel free to ask me what it means, or feel free right now to let me know what synonym means, and I will give you an answer on it. Okay, on to our example of the exercise. This exercise is match the words. So I'm giving an example. My words are day and months. What does day mean? What does months mean? The months with the S. Okay, day, is it February, April, or May, or Monday, or Wednesday, or any other days? For this exercise, I want you to match to the correct meaning. So days is Monday and Wednesday, and months is February, April, or May. So this is just an example of this exercise. Okay, you will be given 30 minutes to complete this exercise. Again, some of these words is kind of tough, so if you don't understand it, please refer back to your readings. And your reading will guide you to the meanings or to the synonyms. Once you complete this task, please forward it to my personal Telegram and I will correct it and give you back your score. Thank you and see you in the third video. Hello class, welcome back to our last video for today's lessons. Again, today's lesson is about reading comprehensions. It's about understanding what you read. So in our first exercise and our second exercise I want to see how well you understand what you read. So it is important, yes, to correct grammars and the structure of the sentence, but I want to, in this exercise, I want to know if you understand what you read. So this exercise is about understanding what you read. So all the questions I wrote down for you is about that. See if you understand what you read. So I hope you understand it. And our subject was about national days. If you understand our national days, how we celebrate it, what is the national day for, and what occasions. And where does the origins come from the national days? So intel of our reading that I hope you understand and enjoy reading about your national days. Of course, there are more national days in Cambodia, and hopefully, real soon in the near future, we will get a chance to talk about more about national days and how you celebrate it with your families and with your friends. And most importantly, I know as a student and maybe as a teacher, national days comes with a holiday. That means we have a day off from work, school, and everything else to have some fun with our families. That's what I like about national days, where I enjoy spending time with families and friends. Now back to our last task for today. Our last task says, yes, we have homework. We always have homework. Did you do your homework from last week? Some of you I received already, and thank you for sending it to me. Some of you still in questions. Remember, our class will start real soon, so you will have a few more hours to turn it into me. You will get credit for it. Okay, our homework today is on page 36. Can you turn your page to page 36? Or turn your book to page 36. On page 36, there are 3 questions on top of the book, and there's a box right in the bottom of the question, a phrase. I'll explain more about the phrase later on, but on top of this page there are 3 questions. These questions come from your reading from exercise 1 and exercise 2. I want you to answer these questions. Please write the questions and answer in your notebook. Don't just write one word or 2 words answer. I want you to write a whole complete sentence, a full text explaining your answers. And once you completed the 3 questions, there's a black box at the bottom of the page. The title of the box is, what is mindfulness? The meaning of the word mindfulness. Do you understand or know what mindfulness means? As we talk about the first holidays of our event, why do the Buddha practice mindfulness? How he practiced it? Is it by himself or with a bunch of people? And how did he achieve mindfulness? Did he find calm in his mind, or he found a lot of chaos in his mind? How did he achieve it, and what is the meaning for the Buddha? But after reading this text and reading some of these words, I want you, in your own words, it doesn't have to be, it won't be a right or wrong person. I just want to know your thoughts and your writing, and if you understand the word mindfulness when you're reading. And after reading it and understanding it, I want you to answer 2 questions for me. In your notebook, I want you to write the questions and answer down. Question number 1. What does mindfulness mean to you? Means, I don't want it to hear means to your friends, your families, or someone you know. I want to know, what does it mean to you? How do you find mindfulness? I'm going to give you a quick example of how I sometimes find mindfulness. For me, mindfulness is a state of being calm and being relaxed. Sometimes, if I listen to a good music, my mind will relax and stay calm, and I will find mindfulness. And even reading a good book helps keep my mind being calm and being mindfulness. Now, that is just my example. What is your example of mindfulness? And question number 2, how can you achieve mindfulness? As I answered in the first question, I achieve mindfulness through reading a book or listening to a good music. Now that's just my example of mindfulness. What is yours? Again, you will have till our next lessons to submit me your homework. Take your time, think about these answers, and write it with some meanings and some feelings. Know what's coming out from you, and coming out from what you celebrated and what we read about in our national days. Meka Buchia days, how we celebrate the Buddhas, and how we celebrate certain events and what occasion. Hope you enjoyed this exercise from this week and our previous week on National Days. Like I said earlier, we will continue to talk more about National Days in Cambodia. Thank you, be safe, and hope to see you all again next week. Bye.